Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is to go into the experience of cognitive dissonance. It is a state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. So, really, cognitive dissonance is a disconnect. It's a state of psychological tension. You can equate this to dissonance in music when you have two opposing notes being played at the same time. And it creates a musical tension like, almost like an alarm sound. This is the state of dissonance. Oftentimes, there can be certain degrees it's very alarming, and there can be times that it is psychological tension. But overall, there's a resolve, or there is the state of harmony where there is a congruence. There is an alignment between one's behavioral attitude, thoughts, emotions, and behavior. So that's really when life is flowing. That's when you're not in a state of struggle or a state of disconnect or cognitive dissonance. And this state of cognitive dissonance is set up not only in the target, but it is really projected through psychological reciprocity. In other words, the back and forth energy that is transmitted or telegraphed or projected or really sort of emanated or radiated out from a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. The state of cognitive dissonance can be oftentimes felt, and oftentimes this extreme cognitive dissonance is originally it's an energy field around this person which might be originally attractive. You say, wow, there's something so unique about this person. They're in this high stress situation and they're so very calm. Their dog just died and they're not crying. They're late for their kids and they don't seem upset. Wow, this person has great self-control. Or this person is so attractive, the way that they use their nonverbal communication, their body language, and yet they're lying. They have a facility to engage in pathological lying where they will live a complete sham, an outer experience which is opposed to what they're feeling underneath. So they might have the psychological reciprocity that they're loyal to you, they're married to you, they're their family member, yet their behavior is completely otherwise, opposing to that. You have, the state of, being married and then cheating, having affairs, saying one thing and doing another. It's really a pathological hypocrisy. Let's have our house, let's have our furniture, let's have our family, yet this person is leading a double or triple life. They're telling you lies about things that they're going to do and they have no intention of doing. And this is not, just the typical, I will do it, and then, they procrastinate because they don't want to do it. We're talking about really ingrained, deep cognitive dissonance, where we're talking about, committing to cars, houses, families, marriages, jobs, titles, things, causes that they're interested in, religions, sports teams. I mean, you name it, there's a complete and profound and utter cognitive dissonance that is engaged in by a malignant narcissist or psychopathic individual. So that's where you really have to see beyond the mask, what they are saying, and really understand and separate yourself from that energy that they are projecting out that is so very tension oriented and problematic. And it is that tension which oftentimes causes people to violate their own boundaries, violate their own internal guiding system, their own best interest. Your body knows. The body knows what is good for you. Deep in the recesses of your being, recess being basically meaning, back. If you were to go into the recesses of your being, it's your subconscious. It's really what you know. It's your deep internal guiding system. It's already pre-wired in you as a human being. You have an internal guiding system that will say no. It knows instinctively that something is not good for you through sight, sound, taste, feeling, emotion. This is all wrapped into one. People might call it like your gut instinct. And, the recesses of your being, it's very interesting. It comes from the Latin recessus, and then English to the recess, which means a withdrawal or departure from the 16th century mid-English, or from the Latin recedere, to go back. So in other words, to recess, to go back. So, you need to kind of go back and really back up from these people to get through your own state of cognitive dissonance. It's the internal tension where now you're so disconnected from that recess of your being, from that internal truth, that internal peace, in that internal sort of life purpose, destiny, what makes you happy, what makes you joyful, where you're in the flow, where you're in the moment, where you're not paralyzed by a paranoia. This is the state that you need to get back to. And to really get there, you need to separate yourself from this energy. You need to, really kind of get re-familiar with your own energetic space. You need to say, okay, this is creating a lot of tension. This is creating a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of lying, smear campaign. People, using horrible tones of language with you. I need, the yelling, the sort of, overriding your very being through their angry, negative energy. This is a very painful state. And I know a lot of viewers are in this, and I have deep compassion and empathy for you in that state. So if it has created this sort of cognitive dissonance in you where your body is now kind of behaving for you, and you're not connected to your best decision making. You're sort of in an automatic pilot, but in a struggle, a fight or flight state, and it's becoming very chronic, and you don't know what to do. First of all, acknowledging it is number one, saying, okay, I am experiencing this extreme psychological tension here, and it's causing me to be reactive. And it's looking at the stories then that you're telling yourself, and saying, okay, this person has violated me for so long, and I need to prove that I'm right here, and I need to engage with them. But oftentimes, this is not possible. So you need to come to a new understanding that coming to a sort of parallel state of agreement or harmony or just natural discourse is not going to be possible with a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. They don't have that real attachment, love, emotional congruency. We're on the same page, experience in life, and they will furthermore use that to create a deplorable environment for you to live in, speak in, talk to, engage in. And it's unfortunate. It is a horrible experience, especially if this is a family member who has been with you from the beginning. If this is a sibling, if this is a spouse who you have now created a lot of responsibilities or commitments or obligations with, and your names are on the mortgages or the credit card bills or the bank statement. You need to get back into the recesses of your being. You need to step back. You need to step back physically. You need to step back emotionally, and you need to step back psychologically. You need to step back verbally. You need to really kind of re-engage and get re-familiar with your own energy and realize that you have your own energy that is separate and distinct from this chaos, this cognitive dissonance, pathological lying, the smear campaigns, all the horrible talk. Let's just call it the what do we call it? The water cooler talk. However you want to look at it, the negative lies, the gossiping, the smear, it has nothing to do with what you want to get engaged in. So let it be. Don't try to correct it. Don't try to engage in it. Don't try to set the record straight. If you're, with children or you have others, just the main thing you can do is take a step back, get familiar with your own energy and your own positive energy, and begin to just disconnect from that. It's like literally, disconnecting, like turning out, unplugging a light, disconnecting, psychologically from this person. And you need to basically make this happen. If you've never done this before, it is maybe an unfamiliar or uncomfortable feeling. You might have guilt holding you back. It might not make sense to you. It might not make logical sense that I have to let go of this person. This is my mother. This is my father. This is my spouse. This should not be. So that could be a story that you're telling yourself. So you need to correct the story. You need to come back to the understanding of, the fact that you are important. You are number one. Your feelings matter and your feelings exist. And furthermore, that your feelings exist in reality. Your feelings exist in truth, despite all the lies, the pathological slander, the negative projection that is, emanated from this individual. And get familiar with your energy. Begin to exercise your free will. Deep breaths, turning the plane of your body away from this person, not looking at them in the eyes, not responding on a direct, verbal communication, speaking kind of out in another direction to them, if you have to answer. If they ask you a question, respond with another question, and begin to get that pattern interrupt so your energy is distinctly separate from this individual, and begin to create feelings, positive feelings, and anchor them in your body while you're with them. And this might take some time, because if you've been doing this for a while, engaging with them in a while, you've now memorized all these negative feelings within. And this is going to need some time to become untangled. It's going to be kind of, part of your verbalization. It's going to be caught up. So it's going to take some time to kind of untangle your thoughts, your feelings, your body, but begin to do things, for example, do a pattern interrupt, rather than engaging with them, move your body around, fix your posture and turn your gaze out the window, into the other room, tie your shoes, pick up your phone, put your hand in your pocket, do other behaviors that begin to get your free will into motion and can reset the positivity. Pull up a picture that reminds you and reprimes your subconscious mind of something positive. You could have gone on a vacation and seen, a waterfront, a lakefront, a beautiful garden, some beautiful skyscrapers, pictures of animals that you love, pictures of babies that you love, butterflies, a fast car, a beautiful home that you want to move into. Begin to reprime and reset your emotional repertoire within yourself. Begin to rejog that and engage that to reset the emotional vibration, priming it through your subconscious, through presenting new images, new physical movements, new sounds, new feelings. While you're with them, do things like, maybe scratch your back, or, grab onto your belt, or, your blouse, or, do something with your jewelry where you're, using your hands to kind of re-engage your body and become more engaged with that free will and that instinct, and begin to develop furthermore the cognition that comes with it. And begin to develop then the cognition, which is the thought pattern. I am separate and distinct, and I am happy. I am separate and distinct, and I am happy. I am separate and distinct, and I am happy. I am separate, distinct, and self-governing. I am separate, distinct, and autonomous. I am separate and distinct, and I experience joy even in this moment. These are the sort of statements that I want you to then begin also. I know that this is a lot of information, but to begin with this, to reset your cognitive dissonance. So your behaviors, your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, and your vision for your future can be connected. And then you begin to reset what is known as cognitive congruency, or alignment between your body, mind, your spirit, your thoughts, behaviors, choices, feelings, emotions, and life experience moving forward. And then you'll experience that compounding effect where this begins to add up and begin to build within you, which is resetting that story and experience for yourself moving forward now with this new information. This is Peace and Harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.